Texas Congressman Ronny Jackson. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. I got to ask you, you've seen this, now you're an elected official. The Democratic Party in this Afghanistan thing especially, they had all the information. They prided themselves during the last election versus Trump as, historic foreign policy experts. How did they get it so wrong?
Carl, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I saw a retired four-star general talking today, and he made a point to say that he could have taken his most junior lieutenant and put them in charge of this, and they would have done a better job and came up with a better plan than Secretary Lloyd and all those at the Pentagon came up with on this. It's absolutely insane. I don't know who thinks it makes any sense whatsoever to remove all the military before you do anything else, and then go back and then try to get the civilians and all the immigrants that we want to get out and get them out and leave all our equipment behind.
Right.
It's crazy how they did this. It makes no sense.
Yeah. But the thing to me is, look, I was a SEAL on the ground in Iraq during the pullout, and we told them on the ground, like, hey, guys, not a great idea. Let's not do this right now because there's a lot of people here who still want to kill Americans. And when this is what America does when we leave a conflict sometimes under democratic rule. Hey, you know what? We've won. We're coming home. Bye. No, the enemy gets a say. And when you have the intelligence was there. I have friends that are working for the alphabet agencies, working on the ground. I have spoken to 3 people on the ground in the last week over this. They knew, and they couldn't even answer today how many Taliban they think there are. I can tell you there's 30 to 40,000 that we know about right now, and the Defense Department won't even admit it.
No, it's absolutely true. They will not admit it. And people did know about this. I am sure that we're going to find out that there are a lot of people on the ground, operators like yourself, they were on the ground, that were pushing this information up the chain of command. And it probably made it to the Pentagon. But you know what? That's why this president needs to go. That's why he needs to be impeached at this point for dereliction of duty, because this was all about a political. They were trying to create a political image. They wanted this pullout done by September the 11th, and it was all done for political purposes. Now what's going to happen on September the 11th? What image are we going to have? We're going to have the image of the embassy in Kabul with the Taliban flag flying over the top of it. That's the image they're going to get now.
I know it is insane. So once again, Joe Biden just sounded totally lost again today during this news conference, and we have a soundbite. I want to get your take on this real quick.
The NGOs taking out civilians and vulnerable Afghanis. They're doing it in a dangerous place to save other Americans, our Afghan allies, and citizens of our allies who went in with us. There's a greater danger from ISIS and Al Qaeda and all these affiliates. The idea of
perhaps not the messenger to portray American strength at this time. Am I wrong?
No, not at all. And I looked at the transcript from that ABC interview that he did the other day with George Stephanopoulos, and it was horrible. They, of course, edited a lot of this stuff out where he looked incredibly, lost and foolish. But yeah, this is insane. And I'll tell you, we're going to have to do something about this, because this is inspiring. This is not inspiring confidence in our allies or the American people, and is sending the wrong message to our adversaries. And we're going to pay a price for this. He is leading us down the wrong path. And we're going to see some horrible images coming out of Afghanistan over the next week or two. Who knows what's going to happen? Every single day that goes by, this is going to get worse and worse. It's going to get harder and harder for people to get out of there, and it's just going to deteriorate. And we're going to have thousands of Americans that are going to be trapped, and they're essentially hostages of the Taliban.
Yeah. Well, Congressman, you're a doctor as well. I got to ask you I got about 20 seconds left. 25th Amendment, is that feasible at this point?
Oh, it's feasible. It's feasible. And you know what it's going to, Carl? It's going to come from the Democrats. It's not even going to come from the Republicans, because at some point they're not going to be able to cover up for this guy anymore. Already the mainstream media is having a really difficult time covering up what's going on right now. They're actually talking about it. This is the first time in 6 months they haven't covered up his mistakes and his inability to lead. But they're going to have a hard time sticking with this. And eventually, here in the next few months, they're going to be the ones talking about the 25th Amendment, getting rid of him, because they're going to have no choice. This guy's got to go.
I got to say, Texas Congressman Ronny Jackson, we appreciate you joining us tonight, sir. Stay safe.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
All right, Doug Collins, Sebastian Gorka.